Sixth graders, the second part of lesson 11.9 is solving division equations, okay? And we're going to use multiplication to solve division equations, just like we used division to solve multiplication equations, using the opposite operation. Now, let's talk about division for a little bit. Division equations contain fractions because a fraction is another way of writing division. Okay? 2/3 is a way of writing 2 divided by 3. But really, it's also a multiplication equation. 2/3 times y. So remember, multiplication and division are related. They are very close to each other. Okay? They're kind of the same thing, but just written differently. Now, let's start with an equation like this. 2/3 times y equals 8. And what we're going to do to get 1 is use the reciprocal of 2/3. This word is reciprocal. Repeat that. Reciprocal. We used reciprocals when we were learning how to divide fractions by other fractions. Alright? That's where you first learned about reciprocals. The reciprocal is the fraction flipped over. And if you multiply a number times its reciprocal, so if you multiply 2/3 times 3/2, you get 1. Remember, when you have one variable, that's the solution. That's the identity property. And so we're trying to get 1y. 1 next to y. How do you get 1 next to y when you have a fraction? You multiply the number. This is called the coefficient of the variable. Alright? And that's a new term to you, but you'll get used to it. The coefficient of the variable, that's the number next to the variable. Alright? So this is the coefficient of the variable y. And we're going to multiply 2/3, that coefficient number, by its reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal of 2/3? Roy?
3/2.
It's 3/2. So here's how you're going to show it. You're going to write 2/3 y, parentheses, put parentheses around it, and write 3/2. 3/2 times 2/3. And then what can we do? If we have the same thing, we have reciprocals multiplied by each other, we can just X them out, cross them out. Because they equal 1. Right? What's 2 times 3? 6. What's 3 times 2? 6. So it's 6/6. What did you do when we were solving before and you had a number over another number? Nate, what'd you do? Crossed it. Crossed it out. You do the same thing here. Cross them out. X them out. Because they equal 1. And we're left with 1 times y, which is the identity property, y. Then, we go to the other side. And the rule is, we have to multiply the same thing on the other side, right? So 8 times 3/2. Now, how do we do that? A whole number times a fraction. Brett?
You put 8/1.
Yeah, 8/1 times 3/2. You have to multiply fractions times fractions. And so if you have a whole number, you have to write the whole number as a fraction. 8/1 times 3/2. Now, can we reduce this? What's 8 over 2? The same as. How can you reduce that before multiplying?
4 and 1.
Yeah, it's 4 and 1. Okay, there's 1 2 in 2, and there's 4 2's in 8. So if we factor out the 2's, we're left with 4 and 1. And then multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. So what does y equal to? 12. And then check it. 2/3 times 12 equals 8. Is that correct? 12 over 1. And then reduce it. 1, 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So that's true. Okay? Now let's go back to your worksheet. Go back to your worksheet. Number 5. What's the number next to the z? There's, you can't see it, but there is a number there. How many z's are on the top line? No. If it's not written there, then it's just 1. So put a 1 next to the z. Then we have a fraction. What fraction is this? 1 over 6. 1/6. Yep. Now, just like it says in your notes, multiply by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1/6? 6 over 1. So put parentheses around this and write 6 over 1. Okay? Everybody do that. So we have 1/6 times z, and we're going to multiply it by 6 over 1. And then we can cross out the 6's. And we're left with 1z. Okay? Now, what do we do with the 9 on the other side? Multiply it by the same number. What do we multiply on the left side? 6 over 1. So write 6 over 1. Now, do we need a 1 under the 9? Or can we just multiply 6 times 9? 6 times 9. So z equals what? What is it? 54. Right? Don't have what? Okay, go sit down. Take notes. You might as well write down the answers now and then put it on there later, okay? Then we have to check it. Where does z go in the original equation? Abby? Yep. At the start of the equation. So what was on the left side? Z over 6. Right here. Yep, that's what it says. And instead of writing z, we're going to write
1.
no. 54 over 6 equals 9. Yep. Is that true? Yep. That's how you check it. Okay? All right, let's do number 6. put a 1 in front of what?
The D.
The D. So 1 over 4 times D equals 5. Then multiply by the reciprocal.
4.
No, not 4. Oh yeah, it is 4. 4 over 1. Cross off the 4s. Because 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 1D is left. Then multiply by 4 on the other side. Do we need the 1s?
No.
Nope, just 5 times 4, which is 20. So D equals 20. Then check it. Go back to the original equation and put 20 in place of D. Bryce, where would the 20 go?
Where the D is?
Yep. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Is that true? So it checks. How about the next one? What should we multiply by to get rid of the 2.4? Multiply by 2.4 over 1. Cross off the 2.4s. And then do 11 times 2.4.
Why 11?
Because 11 is on the other side.
Oh.
Okay? Now, 2.4 times 11. 4, 2, 2, 4. So that is 2, 4. And there's 1 decimal point. So what is n equal?
26.4.
Okay. Last one on this side. Now we have a fraction. What's the reciprocal of the number next to the variable? What should we multiply by? And the last one. What should we multiply by? Brett? 5 over 4. Yep. So multiply this one, put parentheses around it, write 5 over 4. Cross off the numbers and you're left with K. And then do 12 times 5 over 4. Yep.
Why are we crossing out the 5 and then number 6 we cross out the opposite ones?
Yeah.
Because we have a 5 on the top and we have a 5 on the bottom. What's 5 divided by 5?
Yeah, but we have a 4 on the bottom and a 4 on the top.
Where?
For number 8.
For number 8?
Yeah.
That's what this is, number 8.
I
5.
know.
I mean, the 4 is on the top and the 4 is on the bottom.
Yep, and you cross those off as well.
Oh, I
You cross off all the numbers.
It's like, why are we not?
And then reduce 4 and 12 in this multiplication problem. 12 over 4 is 3 over 1. And K equals what?
3.
Multiply
15.
5 times 3. Sorry, it happens. Daria, second. Okay. Then, check it, 12 equals 4/5 times 15 over 1. Is that correct? Yep, reduce. Yeah, 15 over 1. There we go. And then 1, 3, so check. Okay? Alright, it just takes practice, getting used to the process. Okay? You have to identify the number next to the variable and then multiply by its reciprocal on both sides. Multiply those fractions. If there's no number, if there's not a number next to the variable, then it's a 1. Then you treat it like a 1. Okay?